All right, everybody, welcome back to another one. This is our weekly watch list for the week of February 19th. I put these watch lists out for you guys for free every single week. I also do daily watch lists for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if I don't do the video, I do present the list on my Discord, which is free. That link is in the description below, so make sure you join that Discord to get that information there as well. I am going to go over the first four stocks here. I think the first four are items that I had on a list for last week, which we talked about very briefly. And we're going to see how those played out, and then we're going to move into the actual list. So the screen you see in front of you here, this is TradingView. If you've never used TradingView, you want to try it, there's a link in the description below. It gets you a free 30-day trial to their sub-based services, and then you'll receive up to $30 off of your subscription, depending on the subscription that you choose, if you decide to move forward with TradingView. So make sure you take advantage of that free offer as well. So let's look at American Airlines. Last week we had the double inside bar. I was looking for a breakout. Did not get it. We ended up with a triple inside bar. I talked about this triple inside bar on Twitter and said this week was going to be very interesting if we ended up staying triple inside bar, which we did, okay? So the last time, I doubt we'll even find it. This is such a rare occurrence to find a triple inside bar, a double inside bar, let alone a triple inside bar. So we could go back in time. I asked it on Twitter. I don't think anybody answered. There was the last time we had a double inside bar. We got this big move. So that's still the kind of move we're expecting to see. Double inside bar, we had this big move. Okay. Not there. Double inside bar, not as big of a move, but we had that 2-week move to the downside. And that's all we're looking for. So what happens with these, and you notice the bars are yellow, so that's part of the indicator I have created for you guys, the Griswold Strat indicator on TradingView, and it paints these inside bars yellow. It gives these blue highlights for the double inside bars, gives you the time frame continuity, gives you the candlestick numbers, Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule, paints the outside bars white, and a bunch of other things. But when you see those yellow bars, so basically what this is doing, and I usually say this is an inverse broadening formation. So if we look at it, this is basically what we've got happening, okay? So it's basically, like we said, an inside broadening or an inverse broadening formation where we have this triangle and it's getting tighter, 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 and it's got no room to move. So eventually it's got to move or explode out of that inverse broadening formation. And so we are looking for, when I look at these yellow bars, I think of them as springs being squished, compacted, loaded. So we have 3 straight weeks of pressure and compaction of this stock getting pressured and tightened in a tightening range over 3 weeks. And we're looking for that really big move to the upside or downside. So we can look for triggers at 15.15 for calls or 14.41 for puts. Now, as we move on to BA has the exact same thing. We're running off of that triple inside bar. We're looking for the exact same move. Calls at 209.80. Puts at 202.21. And again, you can go back and look in time. These trades, everything we look at with this strategy, which is the strat and what I teach on this channel, if you're interested in it, make sure you're subscribed and you're following along, because there are a ton of learning tool videos that I put out for you guys for this strategy. But if we go back and look at BA on Boeing, and the last time we had a double inside bar, like they just don't happen, guys. The double inside bars, let alone a 3-week pattern of 3 inside bars. Like, we already are back into 2016. There are no double inside bar weeks on BA. Okay? They're just, they don't happen. I'm not going to go back any further. I'm already to 2013. 10 years, 11 years, we haven't had a double inside bar setup, let alone a triple inside bar setup. So again, we're going to look for those calls at 209.80 or 202.21. This was also on the list last week. And as part of the Griswold Gold membership, that is in my Discord, there is a paid portion. It's $50 a month, or you buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month free. You get the indicator. You get the top 5 from these lists that I give out. You get live trading bots. You get one-on-one time with me. You get a 1-hour course that teaches everything about the strat and everything about this strategy. So that's that information can be found on my pinned Twitter account or on the Discord. So as we move on, we look at IBM. IBM had this. This is where I was talking about. We're going to go look at some of this stuff from last week. Hammer candle. Okay, 1, 2, 2 rev strat. We broke the trigger. This was a good trade. you would have made some money on this. We came just shy, or we were just shy of that target, but it was still a good trade. And then Tesla, same thing. We had this inside bar, then a 2-down green, not quite a hammer candle, but we pressured up. We moved up on that 1 week term. That was a good trade. And then we had XOP, same thing. We had that 2-down that finished green. The sellers had it, the buyers took it back. A 2-down that finished green tells me there's a higher probability that we're going to trend up. That's exactly what happened on XOP. So some really good trades you could have taken last week with the weekly swing trades. As we move on to this full list now. So we look at Alibaba. So 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar. We're looking for breaks of 75.37 to the upside or 71.42 to the downside. And again, just go back and look in time. This one didn't work out in our favor. It trended up. And I guess, we triggered here. We hit targets 1, 2, and 3 before it ended up reversing back down. So we still had the opportunity there to make some money. But if we go back and look for that yellow highlight, also part of the indicator, and you can get that indicator separately. It's $25. It's a one-time fee. You get it for life. You can get that without getting the membership. But here's another 3-1 setup where we opened below, we gapped, and we didn't quite hit target, so it didn't work out. And I don't stand here or sit here telling you guys that it works out every time, because it doesn't. But here's another example where we gapped and we moved down and we actually triggered. Okay, so it did work out. And probability tells us that the majority of the time, this stuff does work out for us. So let's move on to Chewy. Chewy's got the 2 up that finished red. We've got really nice time frame continuity here. This tells me the hourly, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, and the yearly are all to the downside. Now, obviously, as we open up next week, these first 3, the week, the day, and the hour, are all going to be different. But we are going to look for this to trend down with 2 down. So we're going to look for puts at $16.56. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We've got Caterpillar. So Cat went 2 down, finished green. That's what we talked about when we open and come down and we're a 2 down that finished red, but the buyers brought it back. Again, it just gives me a higher probability that we are going to trend back to the upside. And it's no different than a 2 up finishing red where we say we're going to trend to the downside, which we did. Didn't hit targets, but it did trend to the downside last week. We look at DocuSign. DocuSign's got that inside bar again. Okay, so we're looking for a break to the high of that inside bar or the low of the inside bar. And I always tell people, if you're new or you're struggling with trading, the inside bars are what you should be looking at. And you can go back. It doesn't have to be on the daily. You can look on the 30-minute. You can look on the hour. You can look at the 4-hour, the 15-minute. This is what typically happens with inside bars. We break one side. I guess this one trended to the upside. So it didn't really work out. But I'm not here again to say that it works out 100% of the time. It didn't work out. But then we finished with a 2 up red and we trended to the downside. Okay, so now we've got this inside bar. We'll see how it plays out. Here's an inside bar, trended to the downside. Here's an inside bar, trend to the upside. Okay, inside bar, trend to the downside. And these are 1 week candles. Double inside bar, trend to the downside. Okay, inside bar, triggered, targets. These candlesticks are telling you guys a story. They're saying if we break this high point, we are very likely to hit this target right here, top of the preceding wick. Okay, another inside bar, run to the upside. Very, very high probability plays. Okay, high probability plays. That's what we're looking for. We look at Etsy. Etsy has a 2 up that finished red. We're going to look for it to trend down. The majority of the time frame right now, the majority of the time frame right now is pointing to the downside. So if we open and we trigger down, these 3 and these 2 for sure are going to be red. If we go to the monthly, your monthly will also turn to red if we trigger, okay? This is a monthly chart. There is our weekly setup. So if we trend down on the week, we will be red right across the board. Full time frame continuity to the downside. EW, inside bar, okay? Calls, 87.48, puts 84.44. And again, this one, we trended up, hit targets. This isn't a coincidence, guys. Look at this. I'm going to put in a line here for you guys. Look at, we like not quite tagged it, but very, very close. 76.65 was the target. We hit 76.54. So within like 10 cents. 11 cents is what we came within that target, and then it reversed, okay, and came back to the downside, okay? It's telling you guys a specific story. It's saying if we trigger, we are probably going to hit these targets, so pay attention. Here's Ford Motor Company, 2 up red. We're going to look for puts there at 12.26. Starbucks, double inside bars off of Starbucks. The last time we had those. And again, as I go through these guys, look, inside bar. I'm not inside bar to the downside. Inside bar to the downside. Inside bar, this one didn't work out. Double inside bar. Here's the last time we had it. Bowango to the downside. Big, big runs, okay? Inside bar, didn't hit targets. Inside bar, that one didn't work out. Double inside bar, look. Trigger, target, target, target. Missed that target. But hit multiple targets on the way down. I will give you guys a hint here. In my top 5 that I give to the Griswold Gold members, if there is a double inside bar, they don't happen very often. They're usually on the list. If there's a triple inside bar, they're definitely going to be on the list. So you guys have that in your back of your mind. You know what's potentially coming on those lists. But there aren't always those double and triple inside bars, okay? So you want those lists for the weekly, you got to be part of the gold membership. You want them on the daily, also have to be part of the gold membership for the daily watch list. Let's go to Home Depot, 2 up, finished red. We're looking for puts there at 353.88. Moderna, 2 down, green. Buyers bringing it back. We're going to see if we can trend up. Calls at 92.08. Microsoft, inside bar. So you know how those work. Calls at 420.74. Puts at 403.39. We're following that pink line across. And there's my number, 420.74. 403.39. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold as well. Make sure, I'm not done, but make sure you guys are subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. If you have comments, questions, leave them down below. If you think these videos are great, let me know. I like to see that kind of stuff. Nike, 2 up red. We're looking for puts here at 101.65. There's that time frame continuity we're looking for again. Not fully, but again, you can go to the month and just look at the monthly chart. If we trigger, the month is going red, okay? And we have full time frame at that point. We look at PayPal, 3-1 setup on PayPal. Works the same way. There's a double inside bar again, guys. Look, Bowango to the downside. We look for that gold highlight. The last time we had a 3-1, okay? Rare, powerful setups. Double inside bar, 3-1. Went inside bar to a double inside bar, boom. I'm not going to go back any further. We're 4 years back already before we can even find one of these things too high. So here we are with that 3-1 setup. We'll look for that on the weekly on PayPal. Roblox, inside bar, calls at 45.09, puts at 41.53. And SPY. So you could look at SPY to continue up if you wanted to. I mean, it is a red candle, but this is what we call a hammer candle. So with the strat, there are 3 actionable signals. There's these hammer candles. Then we have what's called a shooter candle, which is the exact opposite, where the body is down below and the wick is up at the top. That's a shooter candle. And then the inside bars. Those are the 3 actionable signals. Those are the 3 high probability plays. Now, we'd like to see this red as a green. We don't have it, but you could look for SPY. We are at all-time highs here, guys, so keep that in mind. But you could look for SPY off of this hammer candle to potentially continue to trend up, maybe to this 510 range. In that area next week. Now, I'm not saying it's going to trigger this. I'm not going to say it's going to trigger and continue up. It may trigger and then reverse right back down. But we'll see how SPY plays out. But I wanted to put this out there because SPY is something I watch very closely every single day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck trading next week. If you guys have the questions, ask them down below. Ask me on Twitter. Ask me on the Discord, which is free for you guys to join. There is the paid portion. Make sure you take advantage of the free TradingView offer. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Good luck trading next week, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.